I wasn't clear on that.
No.
The main idea between the I Have a Dream program is you get a group of engaged and committed volunteers, mentors, and donors, and you adopt an entire class of young people when they're in elementary school. Promise them tuition assistance to go to college, and then work with them for the intervening decade to try and open the door to college and then help them walk through it. And as we saw with these kids, and as Mr. Pritchett saw with the thousands and thousands of kids whose lives he's touched at Bancroft, it takes a lot more. It takes more these days than I think the average person realizes. It takes help not just in the classroom, not just great students and great teachers, but it also takes support evenings, weekends. It takes a good library system. It takes a good park system. It takes a reduction in crime. It takes jobs for parents and for the community. In order to improve education, we need a holistic approach that looks at the whole child and looks at the child in the context of the whole community. Those are the sorts of things that we worked on together many years ago. And I think one of the main things that I Have a Dream addressed was the sense of loss or disconnect that so many young people feel as they go from school to school to school. Even if they're so blessed as to have a great principal like Mr. Pritchett and some of the very good teachers at Bancroft, they can have that good experience, and then they go to they either go to a junior high school or high school, and suddenly it's a whole new school, a whole new context. It's physically distant, so the parents don't feel as connected. Administrators don't have the resources or the tools to know what's happened to that child before. I'm on the board of the National I Have a Dream Foundation. The foundation has served over 15,000 children across the country in more than 50 cities.
Well, that's great.
And we're working on a new tool, something I'd like to advocate for should I be a senator, that takes that model and makes it national. And provides the resources from the very beginning of school all the way up until college to allow kids, their teachers, their principals, and their parents to track a child's progress and to help them feel known and to help them be supported and to provide that holistic support that allows parents and family and friends to help save for college and to help teachers and parents and the community be engaged in improving a child's education, the sort of holistic approach that both Mr. Pritchett and his wife have shown that they, through Pritchett Associates, are bringing to the community.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. That was very enlightening, and you know, it just reinforces something that I got from our conversation prior to coming on the air tonight, and that is two things: being committed and being connected. You know, and it's really that simple. You know, the fundamental behind why a person should really take a look at supporting your candidacy is, do they want someone with a proven record of being committed and with a proven record of being connected to this community? And my understanding is that, you know, when you, or should you happen to be elected and chosen as our senator, let's put it to rest. You're not going anywhere per se. Your roots.
So talk to us about
we're not leaving Delaware. My wife Annie and I are raising 3 wonderful kids together, Michael, Jack, and Maggie. We love it here. We like our church, our school, our community, and if elected, I would commute. I don't think it's a healthy thing necessarily to live in Washington. And although I'm eager for the support of folks who are watching, so I can go and fight for us. There are some things that are broken about how Washington isn't working for us, and I think part of it is so many folks who get elected from other states around the country pick up roots, leave their families, move there, and spend all their time there with the lobbyists and the insiders and the folks who are always jockeying. We've seen this in this campaign already. The national press that's descended on Delaware is interested in things that are very different from what we're interested in.
Exactly.
I think we're interested in jobs. We're interested in getting the country back on track. We're interested in fixing the deficit and making things in Delaware again. You know, straightforward stuff, not all these other things people are asking about.
What I'd like to talk about is what the accomplishments that you've made so far and some of the things that you've done and some of the plans that you have should you be elected.
Well, thank you. I think what I offer is 8 years of experience in the private sector. I worked for one of Delaware's most innovative manufacturing companies, the Gore-Tex company, headquartered in Newark. I was their lawyer, but I also helped grow the business. I helped with everything from land use and future planning to ethics training within the company. I have an ethics degree from Divinity School and got to combine that with my law school degree and serve as the ethics trainer for the company. I think the experience of being in a successful business helped me understand how to meet a bottom line, how to grow jobs, and how the private sector thinks, how business works. The last 6 years I've been the county executive, which is like the mayor of all of Newcastle County. I represent 530,000 people. And I'm responsible for the police and the paramedics, the parks and libraries, the sewers, the senior services, housing, zoning. And I've balanced the budget. We've reined in spending. We've worked with the private sector to help create jobs. Crime is down the last 2 years, year over year, significantly in suburban Newcastle County, the areas I'm responsible for. Paramedics have improved their response time. We've increased the number of libraries. We've partnered to provide job training programs for youth, for seniors. I think overall it's a record of experience. At the end of the day, to your point, what matters is the values you want to bring. As I grew up here, I've known hard times and I've known good times. And in our good times, I and my family and our friends have tried to give back through things like the I Have a Dream program. I'm active in church. I'm an active person of faith. But I really think that our government has a role to help in important areas, to protect the environment, to make sure we've got clean air and water, to protect investors, to make sure that if you've got a pension fund, that money's being invested responsibly and Wall Street isn't playing with your money. To protect folks who are relying on Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid, make sure they get what they've paid in for. To support our troops, our police officers, our firefighters. More than anything, to make sure our economy's growing. I've got an opponent who's